I'm going to show you how to put this rail protection on your stand-up boards. This is a Rail Saver made by Puka Patch. I think it's the best stuff on the market. It's super thin. When you put it on your board, you can't even see it. You can't whack through this, and it doesn't cause any water resistance because it's hardly anything on there. It's invisible, and I'm going to show you how to put it on real easy and quick. To start peeling the tape off of the backing, I just learned a new trick from Court from 101 Surf Sports in San Rafael that I didn't know myself before, and it's super good. You put a tiny little slit in it like that, and then you can take your fingernail, and I put it down on a hard area like this, and you just kind of grab that little corner and it peels it apart like that. You start peeling it apart. That saves a lot of time. There, I got it started. Now, you see I'm touching this here with my finger. You don't want to touch the tape with your fingers because you leave a little oil mark and a fingerprint. So, I'm going to trim that off right now. That little slit that I made. And what I do is I'll put with a squeegee that I'm going to use to squeegee it down on there so the tape won't stick to this because it's plastic. And then I've got the thing in my hand and I start peeling it back. Now, you take some water that's got a little bit of dish soap in it. So in a container like this, I maybe put half a teaspoon at the most of dish soap in it. Just a tiny bit of soap in there you want to put in. Then you spray the rail where you're going to put the thing on. Make sure it's all clean of all kind of dirt and stuff first. And then you spray the rail. Spray a lot of the water on there. You want to make sure you get water over more area than where the tape's going to be, because once you stick it down, it's real hard to move it if you touch the tape on a dry part of the board. So I'm going to put the tape on so it's just going a little bit below the apex of the rail. The paddle rarely ever hits underneath the widest point of the board. It only hits up here. So it's kind of logical to put most of the tape up there. You don't need to put it down below the apex of the rail because the paddle never hits down there. It always hits up higher. So it's better to put a little bit of the tape maybe a ½ inch below the apex at the most. So you want to get a lot of water on there, down below the rail and up on top too. So when you lay the tape down, you'll be able to slide it around, but you don't want it to be hitting on any dry spots. So what I'll do is I'll peel most of this off like this. You know, I don't want to drop it on the ground and get any little particles on there. And then I take it like this, and then I lay it down where I want it. I've already got a predetermined spot where I put the front of it, and that's about where my paddle is going to hit when I reach forward to do a stroke. And then I kind of lay it down there like that, and then I peel this off in the back. Now, got to make sure it's in this position I want up front here, and you can see it slides still on all this soapy water. And I'll peel this off, and then the next thing I do is I'll make sure the bottom of the tape is just a tiny bit below the apex. I don't want it too far down below. I want as much up on top as possible. And I got that, got it positioned. Now, take the squeegee. You could use this is the one I prefer. It's a little more flexible than the one they supply, but this one works too. This is what they supply with the Puka Patch rail tape, Rail Saver. I like this one. It's a little more flexible. The credit card works good too because it's a little more flexible. So what you want to do is squeegee from the center out toward each end. The center being about right here, and also the width of this tape here. It's a wide piece for race boards. You want to squeegee from the center of that this way. So I'm going to squeegee from the center out, going like this toward the end and toward the bottom of the board, and then I'm going to come back and squeegee this way. And I'll show you how it's done. Kind of do that, and you squeegee all the water and all the air bubbles right out, and it sticks it down. Once you squeegee that water out, it's stuck down, and it's not going to move. And so, if you kind of can just copy my movements like this, and you hold it pretty tight on there, squeegee pretty hard, but keep going in a methodical direction toward the end like that. And you can see all the bubbles are gone. You can't even see this tape on there. And then I'll squeegee toward the deck this time. You see that? All the bubbles and all the water is gone. You can't even see this stuff on the rails. If you do this technique, it doesn't get in the way when the water comes. It doesn't cause any resistance because it's so thin. And this stuff is super strong. You're not going to smack it up with your paddle. It'll protect your rail for as long as you own the board. And the coolest thing is it's so thin and you can't even see it. There you go. That's it.